I don't talk bad about you in front of your children. How am I a bitter baby mama? Are you trying to make your new future boo feel better? Or are you trying to gaslight me into not asking you for what's required of you? Because we're divorced, we're not together. That doesn't negate your responsibilities as a father. So why is it that some people think you're a bitter baby mama if you are just asking for what is due? That's what we're talking about tonight. And if you have any feedback, any story that you would like to share, come in. Feel free to come into the box if you want to. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. Well, it depends on who has custody, right? But so if the mother has custody of the children, is doing everything, the kids are clean, they're happy, they're well adjusted. What makes someone a bitter baby mama? Now we can be honest. There are bitter baby mamas out there. There are women who have not let go. There are women who have not let go of that person. She's like, girl, I don't have no kids. There are women who can't let go. For whatever reason, they can't let go. This is not my circus. They can't let go of that person no longer being interested in them. Yes, there are women that will intentionally get pregnant in an attempt to keep a man around. That never goes over well. It never does. The Real King says they mad because they can't be with you, and they tried to break that man down. Oh, you were just talking about this. Well, the prophetic empress, if you would like to come in and talk about it, you're welcome. But that's what tonight's topic is. I had some things to take care of. Let me get my tea hot. And so what is it? What is it? So I will read to you specifically what gaslighting is. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which the abuser attempts to sow self-doubt and confusion in their victims' minds. Typically, gaslighters are seeking to gain power and control over the other person by distorting reality and forcing them to question their own judgment and intuition. So that's what it is. If I can't find anybody, okay, what is this? Says women who go out of their way to serve the father or daughter relationship, to sever. Okay, that's a good start. I want to say your name, but it's a whole, I don't give a F about this stuff. Okay, that's your username. Rico, do you have any kids? I believe you have kids. So we're talking about this bitter baby mama. Next week, we'll talk about the bitter baby daddy, because there's some out there too. It's never just one person, and it's not generalized. So it's not a big generalization. All women who have broken up with their partners aren't angry. Some are. Some aren't. Sometimes you have a baby daddy out there or an ex-husband who will paint this picture to make you this horrible person for their next person, even if you haven't done anything wrong. Okay, so I try not to bring my life experiences in it too much because I'm trying to get other people's perspectives. So without saying too much about, the other person, because he's not here to defend himself, I will say I tried to reach out to my ex's new wife. I want you to introduce myself. You're going to be in my kid's life. You're their stepmom now. I want to introduce myself to you. She wouldn't even talk to me. Because I already know that I was married to a narcissist. And, they're going to play the victim, create this whole thing. And I'm just like, for me, as a mom, I tell my kids all the time. And even though this is hard for me at first, it was hard for me at first. But God didn't give you to me as property. All I am is your guardian. I'm supposed to love you, make sure that you're stable and ready for the world when you go out into the world. But I always tell my kids, you are allowed to love whoever. If your dad's remarried and you have a stepmom and she's good to you, she's nice to you, you allowed to love her. Your love isn't limited to just me. I know it's hard because it hurts at first, right? It's uncomfortable for you to say that. But if you truly love your kids and you want to see them excel, you have to give them permission to love who they're going to love. It's not a perfect world. This world is not perfect. We are not perfect people. We truly aren't. I have so many flaws. I have a lot of flaws that I'm working on, but I'm working on them. And the minute you realize that, okay, kids aren't property. I said it, let me say it again. Kids aren't property. Some people think that way. They're human beings. They should be allowed to love who they want to love. I have a very strained relationship with my parents. However, my kids are allowed to love their grandparents because their grandparents didn't do nothing to them. Rico, you don't want to
What's going
hinder them.
on?
Hey, Rico, how are you doing? Welcome to Cut Up Culture. I'm on my
What's
best
good?
behavior. So today we are specifically talking about the bitter baby mama. We're not talking about the bitter baby daddy because that's going to be for next week. I'm trying to get a good flow on these things. Um,
Okay.
but I will say, so for Fridays and Fridays only, well, mostly Fridays only, you give me permission to use your voice and your image on other platforms because I do share this on YouTube. And from time to time, I'll put it on Anchor or IG, and you're okay with that. I just need a verbal yes.
Yeah, you fine.
Let's get into it. So I don't know how long you were in the room, but we're talking about bitter baby mamas and how that's not always the case. Sometimes it is.
Right.
With me, I'm not going to be anything but who I am. I'm just D, right? I'm D. There are some bitter baby mamas out there. I've seen it. And I'm like, girl, let go. When you let go, you can breathe. You're going to be at peace. You holding on to a man that didn't want you. The relationship didn't work out. You got to let that go and just focus on the kids, right? But that's
Right.
so
Right.
hard. Why is that so hard for some people to let go?
Um, well, if anybody knows me, I have one daughter that we have a very, very close bond, you know. Um, so I think once my ex realized that I was all the way done, all the way done, that's when it started getting bad. See, as
Oh,
long
I
as
thought
I
she was going to say better.
no, no, that's when it was well, everybody know my daughter's name is Chloe. So it was like, I'm coming to pick up Chloe. Well, no, she don't want to come. My daughter's 8, my daughter's 9. I mean, at that time, well, actually she's like around 5. And I'm like, what do you mean she don't want to come? How you know? So it was one of those situations where as long as I was giving her mother her way, everything I could see my daughter anytime I wanted to. But once she realized, look, I'm done. I'm moving on. Then it was no longer. It was always about my daughter. It was like, well, I'm gonna come and get her. No, she don't want to come. Nope, she don't need anything. Nope, this, that, and the other. So it got real bad. So once a woman realizes they have no more power, that's when they start acting up. And that's just my opinion. I know there's women in here. I'm not putting them down or anything like that, but that's how it went with me. It got real bad once my ex realized this was it. Here's the papers, sign them, I'm done. I mean, I had custody of my daughter and I was still paying child support and I had my daughter.
How does that work?
That was a decision that was made by me because I wanted my daughter in my life that bad.
So
She,
in
I
essence,
was,
you were paying to keep your daughter. You were paying child
baby,
support in order to keep your daughter.
yeah, I had my daughter with me. Yeah,
And it's because she didn't have any more control.
exactly.
Because I will say, like I said, for me, personally for me, it was hard in the beginning. I'm like, I birthed these babies. I didn't, if he would have been acting right, this we would never be broken up. So it was very hard for me to share my kids until I realized, you know what? They only on loan from me from God. They're gonna go out and be adults out in this world Is my feelings more important than them being okay as adults? Because I grew up from a broken family. Like, no, mom and dad still married, but very much dysfunctional. I'm always honest, 100% honest. I tell my kids now, when I realize, okay, D, because you know I had to go to therapy, I was mad. I was mad about a lot of things. I was angry about a lot of things, not so much about the marriage dissolving because it needed to happen, right? It was unsafe for everybody. It needed to
Right.
happen. But I was still angry because I felt like, one, if you get down to the root of it, I felt like a failure. So I was angry at myself. I was angry at the other party for not living up to what I expected a husband to be and for lying to me about you lied to me about our vows. You lied to me. Had I known that you weren't going to be able to fulfill this role, I would never have married you. So I was angry. I had to go to therapy. And when I think about the bigger picture with co-parent and everything, I'm like, you know what? No matter what this clown do, because at the time that's where I was at. I'm calling him a clown. He ain't
Mm.
here to defend himself, so I'm not going to say anything bad. Um, at the end of the day, it's not about me, and it's not about him, and it's about these kids because they didn't ask to be here. And I always say the biggest thing for anybody that I'm talking to that's going through like custody hearings and co-parenting issues, because I've talked about this before in the past, is you got to remove yourself from it. You got to remove your ex from it. It's just about the kids. What is in the best interest of these kids? As hard as it will be, because feelings get involved. We're not robots. You gonna be mad, right? I'm mad. We both mad. But at the end of the day, the kids ain't got nothing to do with us being mad at each other. The kids ain't got nothing to do with us not being able to work it out. But we're adults. They're looking at us for guidance.
Yeah. I mean, I stayed in the relationship. I stayed in my marriage until my daughter got a certain age on purpose. But that was for me and my mindset because I stuck around because I was determined to make sure that no man was going to take over my responsibility and take my daughter wasn't going to call nobody else daddy. That was my mind. That was me all the way. It was like, yo. So I stuck around and I gutted it out. You know, my ex was running the streets doing this. I was at home with my daughter. We was going on vacation. Me and my daughter, we was just doing our thing. And my daughter really kept me through it. My daughter got me through the breakup. She got me through the divorce. She got me, I'm still single, but she got me through that too because never had to work. I worked my daughter. That's all it was. Now my daughter's at that age now that,
How
dad
old
ain't in
are you
school. That's
now?
she's turning 12 next month.
Oh, Lordy.
But that's why anybody that see my videos, it was just always me and my daughter. Daddy ain't cool no more right now. So it's like, Daddy, you can do your own TikToks right now. I'm good. I'm like, well, damn.
12 now. Because, my youngest is also 12. And they like, don't you got a TikTok to do? Or don't you got some friends to talk to? Get out of my face.
Right.
Because I also had posed a question about why is it so hard for men to date and have their kids? Because my kids don't want me in their face 24/7. Some men got very up in arms about, well, when the kids is here and they visiting, it's all about my kids. I'm like, our kids are the same age. And my son is 12. He be like, "Could you get out of my face? Don't
Yeah.
you got
Now,
something to
now,
do?"
here's the thing, though. My daughter, man, she was so close to me, and we did a couple of videos where I was like, I'm ready to date, and she was like, Nah, no, you ain't. No, you ain't. But now, but that's when she was like, I think we did that video. She was like 9 at that time. So, but now it's, Dad, go ahead now. Go get on the phone. I'm good. Like,
Yeah,
well,
but but I said, do you understand how because you're a man, I'm not a man. I'm not a man. When I want to know questions about men, I go to the men. I know that that's hard because some people think they know. Well, a man this. I'm like, how you know what a man want? You a woman.
right, right.
So I asked the men. I had asked it, and some of y'all got real sensitive. Some. I don't never say all. I don't do generalize because I know how y'all like to fight. Some of y'all got in y'all feelings when I said, are y'all just trying to smash? Or y'all don't really know how to multitask? Because here's the thing. I'm a mom. I'm a single mom. I'm divorced, been divorced for 4 years, going on 5. I got 2 kids at home, one that's in college. They don't want me in their face all the time. Now the youngest one is 12. I got 12, 14, and 20. She's about to be 21 in a couple of months. They be doing their thing. I can go on a date. I can date. I can text. I can talk on the phone and still be present in my child's life. My kids don't. They're here. It's really quiet right now because they're doing their own damn thing. So I'm
Right.
like, why is it so hard for y'all? If I talk to a guy, I'd be like, hey, I'm texting. I'm like, why you didn't answer my text? Oh, well, my kids are here. Your kids don't even have to know about me. It's a text. You pick up your phone and you text real
Yeah,
quick. Are
I
you in
think
your kid's face 24/7? They like, can you get out of my face?
I honestly think, I mean, somebody, it's a guy in here that's about to get mad at me right now, but that is definitely not the reason they're not texting you back. I mean, I'm sorry, because a
Or if I
text is text.
call, I'm like, don't you gotta go to the bathroom? And sometimes call me on the toilet. I don't even care. I don't want to interrupt you. If your kid is visiting, if you are the non-custodial parent and your kid is visiting, I understand you want to spend quality time with your kid. But 24/7?
Yeah,
Ain't,
you're not.
ain't
Trust
no
me.
kid in your face
Yeah,
24/7.
exactly. That's definitely, fellas, don't get mad at me, but that's definitely excuse because I could sit here and talk. My daughter could be here right now, and I could still be on this live right now because my daughter would be paying me no attention.
Rico,
You-
when I say I so appreciate you for this, because I'm like, y'all just trying to smash? Because y'all come up with y'all really don't know how to Now, some guys said, we don't know how to multitask. And the other guy said, well, when my kids are here, it's all about them. And you need to understand that because, and I'm like, but how can you ever get to a point that you're in a serious relationship with a woman if you're not willing to communicate with her? Because if that woman is interested in you and she understands that you have kids, don't you think she want to be a part of all of your life? How are we ever going to get together seriously if you're
And
not
see,
willing?
my daughter was smart. She knew because any woman that I would date, periodically or whatever, they would bring her toys and candy, and she was riding that one out. Daddy, when is such and such coming over? Is such and such coming? I'm like, please don't ever say the wrong name. That just don't ever say. but, but I mean, she was getting doll babies. She was getting it. She was riding it
And that's
until
another question, Rico. So when is it safe? Like for me, because I don't want people coming in and out of my now everybody's different. I know some men are very relaxed with that. Oh, here's my date. Because I'm a mom and I have to set this because I don't want any damaged kids out there. I don't want any sons who are angry at the world, right? I can't just have anybody come in and
no,
out.
no, absolutely not. No. See, here's the deal. I would have, we would go to like gatherings where there were other kids, grown ups. So my daughter never knew who I was talking to.
Oh, yes.
She never knew. We would be in, it'd be like 10 of us, 15 of us, partying, having a couple, well, not partying, but it was a kid's atmosphere. We grilling out, playing cards. The kids are playing. It was a whole atmosphere because you can't throw something all the time if everybody got their kids. So it's like, just make sure this is kid friendly. So that's what we did. But she never knew. She
Who
never
it
knew.
was
Yeah, no, she never knew because, and I'm
until
so
it was. And like, how do you
right.
know when it's right?
I I don't know because I thought it was right one time with someone and it didn't work.
Ooh.
So that was one that came around. So that was the only one that I really had around her. And I thought, in my mind, I was like, oh, this is it. This is it. Wasn't it? And it didn't work out for me or my daughter. She was like, it just didn't work. I mean, she was mean to me. She was mean to my daughter. And I was like, what am I doing? So I was like, yo, this got to end. So that's what I did.
She was
Yeah.
mean to you and the baby?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My
I've
daughter.
only had one experience where we talked about it. I thought this was going somewhere. I said, hey, if you're not all in, let me know now because I don't want to expose my kid. My kid's already been hurt. That divorce was hard on everybody. It needed to happen, right? It needed. Sometimes, let's be all the way honest. Sometimes a divorce needs to happen for everybody's safety and sanity. But it took a big effect on my kids. So I'm like, I want to date. My kids won't be with me forever. At some point, they're going to have to be comfortable. Mama's going to date again because they daddy done got remarried. They okay with that. But when I
Right.
said I'm ready to date, they like, uh-uh. I'm like, y'all know y'all don't dictate my life. I'm a grown ass woman. before y'all before y'all was even thought about. I was handling mine. So you want to have that autonomy. Your mom and your dad, right? But you're still your own person. You don't let no kids run your life. I don't want to set my kids up to get hurt anymore. But at some point, I got to let somebody else in because I
I
truly
don't.
do
I don't
believe
think.
in love.
I don't think kids take it as serious as we do. We may sit here, and that might be a little bit of an excuse, but kids get over that real fast. You know, it's like, oh, it didn't work, Dad. Peace. Let her go. You know, and it wasn't no, you know, I'm hurt, Dad. I really miss her, and oh, she was great. At least I've never experienced that. Men are no good.
Don't even read those. Don't look. First of all, we right here.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's gonna happen. We just let that go.
so I'm gonna tell you like this. Maybe with some years, it may hurt the child. Like your 12-year-old, like what'd you say, a 12? Say them
12,
again.
14, and 20.
Yeah, the 20 ain't paying it no attention. They
She
can't
don't
get hurt.
care. Mm-mm.
The 14 is a boy or girl.
Girl, and she's very sensitive
Right,
because she blamed herself for that divorce. It had not. She could. I we had she had to go to therapy, and I was like, it had
right.
nothing to do with you. This wasn't about you. This was a mommy and daddy issue. Yeah, you got caught in the crosshairs because you saw some things you shouldn't have seen. But ultimately, that's between me and your dad. We both
That's her
love.
dad. That's her dad.
Yes, her
Yeah,
dad.
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about biologicals. I'm
So
talking
you're
about
talking
coming in.
about the boyfriend or the girlfriend.
Girlfriend. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so I've only had one person where I told him, I said, look, my kid's been through some bad stuff. Um, I feel like we're getting serious. If we're exclusive, I need to know you're all in because I don't want you around my kids. I don't want to have them be exposed to a man that they think is going to be in their lives and then you dip out. And he said, I'm all in. If you a man, and I thought he was a man of his word, if you tell me you all in and you're ready to accept me and my kids, I'm gonna take you as your word because you haven't proved anything otherwise, right? And so I let my kids meet him, and he didn't last at all. And I'm like,
right.
damn, I thought this was a good thing, and we had been talking for months. I thought she
Yeah.
was. So I'm like, I don't want to do that again. So I talked to my kids. I said,
But
he ain't coming around anymore. We're not together, and that's just that. And
did it
I'll leave
bother
it
them?
at that. And they were like, we didn't really talk to him too much anyway. It's what it is, and we didn't want you to date anyway. You ain't ready. First of all, you're 12 and 14. You don't tell me when I'm ready. My 20-year-old told me, Mama, you ain't gonna be ready for a serious relationship till you hit 50. Why the hell you gonna speak that shit into existence? 50.
Yeah, but
You
see,
know
that's
I'm
what I
only
said.
43.
We
You
we
telling me I
we
gotta wait 7 years?
we all sit here, and I think when a child gets to a certain age where they know who their father is and everything like that,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it that you don't want dudes waking up in the house in the kitchen making eggs butt naked. I get all of that.
Okay,
You know,
because we're here on TikTok and you hear all the time these people say, if there ain't shit dudes and if single moms is raising them, that means you ain't shit single mom. And that's why you got these ain't single dudes. And I'm like, I don't want my kids to be ain't shit. So I gotta be better than that.
yeah, but
Right?
I mean,
I
yeah,
gotta be better than that.
I
I don't
get
want to
the
have men coming in and out of my life because I don't want my son to grow up to be this angry ass man who's on this mission to destroy the black woman because he mad at his mama, right?
that's awesome.
At the
Yeah,
same time, I have to live my life. When
yeah,
my kids are
you have
gone,
to.
it's just gonna be me.
Right, right,
I
exactly.
deserve love.
And
They
and
gonna
really,
find their love. I deserve love too. I deserve to be
right.
happy. So
That's
I
why
tell my kids, I love y'all, but mama deserves happiness as well.
that's why when I hear these moms on here talking about my kids gonna come first, my kids this, my
They
okay,
gonna leave.
right. They're gonna be out the door and you gonna that one dude that you put second, third, fourth, you okay?
But
You're
here's
gonna
the
be you'll
thing.
be
You
feeding the cat.
also, as mothers, we have to consider our kids' safety because there's all too often we see it in the news where there's men who have taken liberties with kids that they never should have. And you'd be like, I didn't even see the signs. So, me, because I'm also a victim of SA, very early on in my childhood, I have some trust issues. I always let that be known. I'm like, I have some trust issues. I've been to therapy. I'm working on this. As long as you show me you a solid dude, and I vet everybody, everybody gets vetted.
Okay.
Everybody gets vetted. I'm
Because
looking for anything.
at a certain age, a man is, and when I say a certain age, I'm talking about the children. He's not coming in to be a stepdaddy
He's just coming
or
in to
a
be a role
dad.
model.
Right, right. He ain't coming in there to be like, give me that PlayStation. Go
No,
sit your ass down. At that point it's too late. Now he coming in to give some good advice, to be there. Okay. But now listen, if a man is sitting down trying to give some advice and a woman says, wait a minute, don't talk to my child. Yeah, I got it. Da da da.
I wouldn't be that type of person because
Right.
if I've picked you, I understand that you are a grounded man. You're about your business. And if you love me, you want to make sure my kids are okay. Because people say, you want me to love somebody else's man. There are people out there that adopt children that are not biologically theirs and they love them. So don't tell
Let,
me you don't
let
have
me
the capability to love.
let me say this to you. I was in my ex's. She had two kids prior to me. They were 5 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
When we ended the relationship, they were 16 and 13.
They're close to you.
Yeah, yeah. Now check it out. When we got a divorce and mom left, the son stayed with me. He wasn't even my biological. He lived with me.
That's love.
Yeah. So that's just the type of dude that I am.
But
So
can you
when I
tell these brothers that it's capable of you loving somebody else's son, a seed that isn't yours, because you have
yeah,
people adopting people, kids that aren't even theirs. You can't
yeah,
tell me
but
that
see,
there's not a love out there for that.
here's the deal. The mom has to allow it. If the mom don't allow it, and the mom be like, I got it, don't worry about it, this, that, and the other, and the man sits back. Now he's just existing.
And that ain't right. That's not
Right.
how you build the
He,
family.
he, he's just in the house. Oh, you love your child more than you love mine. Well, no, I punish mine. You don't want me to say nothing to yours.
Yeah.
Well, he has a father. Okay, then we'll let his father come over here. You know, and now I'm wrong. You want the good, but you don't want the bad. So guess what? Tell dad to go buy them new Jordans.
Rico, you know why I like you so much? Because you're a real ass dude. And we need more guys like you. I'm not the type of mom that be like, look, this is my kids, don't talk to my kids this way. It's how you handle it. Here, if you're new, let us all get acquainted first, right?
Right,
And
of
that takes
course.
time because still they okay. Because I think people don't realize. So I'm a nurse, and I had to take psychology over a lifetime. Kids feel like if they love the stepdad, they're somehow going against the biological father, and that's not right. But that's just how a child's mind
Yeah,
works.
that's just fear as a man. I'm gonna tell you that. That's just our fear.
That's
That's
a
my
fear as a man.
that's no, that's just my fear. When I don't want her to call nobody else daddy, and he could be the best man in the
I
world, and I
understand.
know it.
But you
That's
know
just me.
what? Sometimes if that man is a stand-up dude, no matter how much your child understand, especially when they get to a certain age, they understand you, they biological dad. But if this man is playing the role as a dad and they are a good dude, they might call him dad. They'll never do it in front of you because it would disrespect you. But at the same time, they love him too. Because I tell my kids, it does hurt. Don't you ever call her mama in front of me.
Right,
I held you in my belly, right?
right,
But at the
exactly.
same time, God just gave us these kids on loan. I tell my kids, you know what? If that woman is treating you good, is good to you, and keep your crazy ass daddy in line, you allowed to love whoever you're going to love. But
But
don't disrespect me by calling her mom in front of my face
it's like, and
because
I
it
think,
hurt.
I'm a Virgo, so I overthink everything.
I'm
And
an overthinker.
I'm like, when my daughter get married, am I gonna have to like walk her halfway down the aisle and then another dude gonna walk her the other way and we both gonna have to say we give this child away? Man, get the hell out of here. I ain't trying to do
Look, the two of y'all can walk her down together. Look, if this
I don't
dude,
want to do no
but
help.
I understand this, Rico. But Rico, for real, can we just be honest? I know this hurt. This shit hurt. It hurt, but we're gonna be real as we can be. If that man loved your daughter and took care of your daughter and was in her life for, and she looks at him like, and she asked to both of y'all walk her down the aisle, are you still gonna feel some type of way?
If she asks, I love my daughter. Whatever makes her happy.
It hurt though. I know it's gonna hurt. Be like,
It
you
it
came
ain't
for
even
me.
happened. It ain't even happened and it's hurting.
It hurt just a little bit. It hurt. Cause I'm a mom. I'm like, I'm the one who gave birth to you. I cared for you even when she wasn't here. You ain't gonna call her mama. That's my role. But at the same time, if she could come in and could care for you and truly love you, because that takes a lot. It takes a lot for somebody who's not biologically yours to love you. And if they can love you and you feel safe around them, who am I to say you can't love them as much? But don't ever
Right.
call her mama in front of me because it hurts me
Especially,
because I'm
especially
the
if
one
they're
who carries you.
especially when they're over there and they got a good house and my man, he doing it,
Because
he
I
working.
don't expect my children to call somebody by their first name, but like I'm like, what y'all gonna call her? And they were like, I ain't calling her nothing. She don't even speak English. That's all I can say about that. Like you said about that. They never even met her. So I ain't gotta worry about them calling her mama. It ain't gonna happen. Not because they're older, right? What do you call a step parent? Like you don't want to be disrespectful, but what are you supposed to call them? You can't call them Mister, because that's weird. It would be weird for my kids to call somebody Mr. So and so.
You know what's funny? In the house when all the kids was coming up, the two they called me Rico. That's all they called me. They called me Rico. They didn't say Mr. Rico or
They just said
anything.
Rico.
They said
Okay.
Rico. But when they was out in the streets, like that's my dad. Yeah,
This is hard. This is always the hard part. This is the hard part of separating and be like, you know what? My kids are really allowed to love who they want to love. In a perfect world, that makes sense, but we selfish. As human beings, we selfish as hell.
yeah.
I'm selfish. I'm like, I was up when you was sick at night as a baby. You just snot nose. I'm the one who cleaned all the
Because
blankets. You
now,
got the audacity to call this lady mama in my
because they coming around now where the hard part is over. You may have to deal with a little disrespect.
because they preteens and teens and they gonna be like, you ain't my mother. You would sit here and talk to me like that, daddy. You let this lady talk to me like that.
Yeah,
You always
Miss Baby just
okay.
said it, respect. So
See, calling them nothing is so disrespectful. So be like, but I'm like, I couldn't have my kids call somebody who's gonna be my husband Mr. That just feels so formal. And it's kind of like he's family.
yeah,
I can't make you call him dad because that has to be the child's choice,
yeah.
right?
But after a certain age, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Unless you come in that child's life when that baby is 6 months,
Very
and
young. So like
yeah,
my
but
kids are teens now. They're gonna call him by his first name, but they're not gonna call him as you said. We called him look, I can't pronounce your name. She said we called him Mister.
Mister,
I'm like, that is so informal though. Like you call him Mister.
no,
I would say call him because I'm like, well, I always tell my kids they gotta call me mom. They can't call me by my first name. That's very disrespectful. I've earned that title, mom. I've had friends whose kids have called them by their first name because they didn't raise them. Their moms raised them. The grandma raised them, and so they've been calling their mom by the first name. And I'm like, that don't hurt.
it
I
don't.
don't care. I'm like that would hurt me. And
I mean, if I
you
if I
calling grandma mom, but grandma raised them as mom. So
the next my next relationship, if she has children, that's at that age or whatever, 12 and up or whatever, they can call me Rico because normally you may say that's Mr. Rico. Okay,
at
Mr. Rico.
first,
That's
but
fine.
once
And
we
then,
become
but
family,
then,
we got to throw the Mister to the side.
right, right, because then I'm gonna look and say, look, they ain't gonna be calling me no Mister up here. We saying Mister, no, we ain't doing
Somebody said that remind them of the color purple.
it.
Be like, I'm paying, helping you pay for college. I
Look,
pay for your food. You ain't gonna call me Mister.
Mr. Jimmy.
We go to Mister Jimmy. Oh my god.
No, we ain't doing that. We're not doing
So,
that.
so if you got with a woman who also had kids, you would just expect them to call you Rico. Because here's the thing: like we're at an age, like you're in your 40s. Are you in your 40s?
No, I'm 50.
Okay, so you're even older than me. So respect is a big issue, right? Rico. But do you expect them to call you Mr. Rico? You said no, right?
Right.
Saying Rico was enough.
That's
As
enough.
long as they regard you with respect,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
Because you are there for their mother and to make sure that they are safe. You are a provider. As a
Right.
man, that is always going to be your role, to protect and provide, because
That's
you love a mama. And if you love a mama, you're going to make sure that the kids are
right.
taken
And,
care of.
and that's the thing that I have to understand with my daughter. If a man comes in, I have to understand, especially if they're living good. If they living good, houses and backyards and good neighborhood and good school system and her grades are up. I got to respect that dude, and I'm gonna have to piece him up, and I won't have to say, "Yo, nigga, that's my daughter," you know. I ain't gonna, it ain't gonna go there,
That
It'll be,
had a little
you
that
know,
had a little spice on it.
It had a
right,
little spice. If there is
you know,
another man that would
'cause-
like to join the conversation that has kids or has stepkids, uh, I always make it room for men and women because I love to have different perspectives. If you have a story, if you have any kind of input that makes sense, come in. Yeah.
Well, I want
Also, please tap the screen so we can get more people in, because some of the times everything can't be demon time all the time. My platform
right.
is also for us to grow as a community. I know that that's hard for people to understand, but sometimes it's to grow as a community. And these are the conversations we talk about: being awkwardly black. We talk about relations and relationships. Some of these things just need to
Good
happen.
evening, everybody.
what's going on,
Hey,
fam?
Jazz Cuts.
What's up?
They need to happen. So, Jazz, you've been here for a while. Have
Yes.
you had any experience with this bitter baby mama, or have you been in a relationship with someone who's had kids, and like, what do they call you?
Well, I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've had bitter baby moms because I provide everything a man is supposed to provide, and they play games, and I don't tolerate games. So when I disappeared, and they know they had a good one, that had come out of vindictiveness and being bitter and stuff like that. See, I'm a mature one. I never take nothing out. If she did with somebody else, as long as they treat my children with respect, he didn't do nothing wrong. He chose her. I'm done with her. I don't have no problem with him. I ain't one of them type dudes. And I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of people don't know. Now, peep game. Most of the time, a dude don't want you to talk to their baby mom because now they'll find out all the lies you was telling them was lies. Like when niggas are, oh man, oh fuck, what I do this, I do this. So if you talk to her, you'll see that he never come around. He ain't paying shit. She got to beg for him to, get some diapers or something like that. But if you don't mess with her, see, all his lies seem valid and seem true. I ain't never
Right.
get that.
It's manipulation, is what
Listen,
it
say
is.
me and Rico homeboys, right? We chilling, we always been cool. I'm done with my baby mom. So they say it's a code and this and that. Listen, number one, if he my homeboy, if he find that that's where he found his love at in my baby mom,
Right.
as my homeboy, I would respect the fact that he's going to treat my daughter right. If I'm done with it, she's going to have to find love somewhere. I ain't one of them
Damn.
type dudes that, because I'm going to take care of mine and he's going to know that. So if he's stepping up to dig her and be with her, whatever, if you my homie, just respect, my position with my daughter. And then if you do anything, I'm going to respect you for even looking out for my daughter. We mature over here. I'm not going to fight him and argue with him and this and that because what's the sense of I'm never dealing with her no more? I don't care who she find love from. As long as you respect my child and respect me and don't try to take that away from me as her father, we have no problem.
But Jazz Cut, you know what it is? Some men don't want, they will create this thing about this bitter baby mama because they want access to her. They don't
That.
want anybody else to deal with her. She could be a good woman. Cause not, like I said, we always gonna keep it 100. There are some bitter baby mamas who can't let go. But then there's also some women that are just about their business. They want to take care of their family and they about their business. But this
Exactly.
man don't want, he don't want to be with her. But he don't want nobody
But he
else to
don't want
want her.
nobody
Right.
else to be with her.
So he gonna
He
say
wants to come.
whatever.
He wants to come
Drag
in
her
and
name
out
in
at
the
it.
mud
He
because
wants
You
to
he
come
don't
just
want
in and out of
anybody else to
life.
have access. That is the most selfish person in the world.
It
Women
is.
are like that too.
It is.
He could be a good man. Y'all just didn't work out, and she will drag your name in the mud because she don't want
period.
nobody else with you until one she found somebody else
It's
and
funny
she
you
happy.
say that. Now, I didn't have no children by this girl. I
Oh
didn't even
Lord.
touch the girl. I never even smelled the cuckoo. But, but, because things didn't work out, she tried to drag my name in, and that shit
I
ain't
don't
worked
get
out. See,
that.
one thing for sure and two things for certain. People know real and people know genuine. As long as you've been my friend, I've been the same all the way across the board. I never change. I never forget to tell you I love you, so you know that I'm Mr. Consistency. That's what I do. So, when things didn't work out with me and this particular person, I said, hey, listen, let's just be cool. I mean, it's no reason to have no animosity. Like I said, I never even smelled the cuckoo, so why would I sit up and have an attitude? We were friends, and we were going to move forward. We were going to move forward. It just didn't happen to work, so let's just stay cool. What you saying, Miss Real?
I gotta answer. First of all, you going that's why. First of all, you're not gonna
What?
make it seem like you're not. First of all, if I'm your friend, okay, that means
Yep,
that I know who you are as a person. It don't matter if you hit the
absolutely.
cuckoo or not.
That
I already
part.
know that you have the capacity to murder a coot, okay? And so you not just gonna be my friend and me not test that water. Like, of course I'm gonna talk trash about you. I don't want nobody else to be able to test it out. I didn't get to test it out. That's nasty. You got all of this sample candy out here and I don't get to taste none of it. That's rude.
Well, that
That's
was
rude.
her fault. That was her fault.
It's not, that's, you
But then
asked
again,
why. I didn't
listen,
ask,
I'm a
listen, I'm not saying that it wasn't her fault. You asked why. That's why. You just not gonna be coming
listen, it ain't
with
my
the
fault she act
anaconda
crazy.
tongue. Like you got the anaconda tongue just all hanging out all willy nilly. She probably done seen that before. She probably done had little aches in her
No,
bottom
no.
regions. We gonna
Listen,
lie?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know. You're talking from a woman's perspective. I can only talk from my perspective, so I can't.
You asked.
I, you know,
That's all I can do is provide that. But wait, I got a good story. Now, you
what?
nasty whore. Look,
And this is The
um,
Real by Miss G, aka Carol.
all I'm saying is, listen, because he think I'm all the way saved, and I'm not. I'm a heathen. It's okay.
But
Anyway,
Carol, the topic is bitter baby mamas, because I know
right,
you want to take it
right,
somewhere
and
else.
listen. So I was
Getting
talking.
all the
I
way
was
to the
thinking
left.
about this. I was thinking about the stepdads. Okay,
Uh
so
huh.
with the stepdads, I saw a video like Christmas time, right? And the bio dad and stepdad had to become cool, like, because of course adulting is hard, but if it's for the kids, what's the issue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So they had put together a whole schedule. They was having Christmas at baby mom's house with the whole family. Dad was there. Dad bought stepdad a pair of Jordans and said, "Thanks for being the man you are in my children's lives." When I say it changes things when you adult for real,
Absolutely.
it's not about us anymore. Like okay, we smashed. Okay, Yago team. We smashed. That's what we did. And it didn't work out. We ended up with a kid. The
A lot of
kid
people
don't
said
need to
they
know.
saw
But,
that. If y'all
do
can
you
share that to me later on, I would love to see. I'm a crybaby.
We
but
know.
do you think it's different for if like the real dad is like literally a deadbeat ass, I mean just deadbeat,
Okay,
then a dad then dad
I've
that's
had
really
that.
in their lives and that's
I've
really
had
been
that.
doing it all.
I've had that. Okay. So my first husband was my military husband. So therefore, I figured if he loved me through my BCGs, he loved me through anything. But
Mm.
that's not how it worked out. Okay. We lasted literally 4 years.
Birth control glasses. Them
Yes,
big
that.
old.
Yeah. 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 The thick glasses that look like Coke bottles. Hmm. So,
I'm sorry. Real quick, Miss D. Do you need me to be a mod?
Yeah, hold on. Let me do that real quick.
Wait, what happened? Who said what?
Yeah,
I don't give
we
it no
don't
energy,
address
but I
them.
see it.
We don't
Yeah.
address
Okay.
them. We ignore them,
Okay.
and you do what you
Yeah.
do.
Right.
Because I do use this audio for other platforms, we don't address the trolls. We
Right.
just shoot them out of the sky.
Right. Right. Pew
Mhm.
pew. That's all we do. So, um, my first husband, total deadbeat. Once we got a divorce, he was more concerned about the relationship between me and him than his firstborn son. So, don't start. Don't start. You acting up. I'm sick of you.
No,
Uh,
I don't want to cut you off, but I'm addressing people who's speaking to me in here. That's why I'm just mouthing it so you can continue talking.
every time you mouth stuff, I can't focus, so that's not really working for me.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
anyway, and back to the subject. When I got married the second time, my second husband, he did everything for my son, like he was there. He did everything he was supposed to do. But I had my parents who were still attached to the first husband that couldn't let that one go. And so I had to fight my parents over the new husband who was actually doing the job. So it it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. But we starting over again. So if anybody wants to put in an application from a third husband, I got a new baby. I got a new baby. So we
I
already a
know.
family. I'm not having no more kids. This is it. I'm done.
I
Die.
never been married. I
You
never
never
been
been?
married. No.
Listen.
I've been married
I'm
twice.
both of my husbands had never been married before either.
And see,
I have
that's
been married twice.
honest,
I have learned
honestly,
some things along the way. Some good, some bad things. I've learned some things about myself. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, we just got to be okay with, we got to grow. It's hard. It's very hard. Um,
Very.
I'm not perfect. I would never ever be
what's up,
perfect.
Eric?
I will not even come across as telling you that I'm a perfect
What up,
person,
V?
that I had no hand in that. I should have spoke up for myself when I needed to. I should have let my boundaries be set and kept them, but I didn't. I always pushed it back because I was so afraid of not being loved. That was on me.
Understood.
And when you feel like it's time for you to get out, sometimes it's just time for you to get out. You can go to therapy, you can go to couples therapy, you can go to marriage counseling. When nothing else works, and you prayed as many times as you could pray, and it takes two to be in a marriage.
Right.
Always. One person cannot carry a marriage. You it
Have-
it's you're gonna drive yourself crazy.
You better cut ties and save yourself. That's the
And that's
sinking ship.
crazy because I'm gonna be honest with you. I really, I really want to be married.
Okay.
Marriage is beautiful when you have two adults who are
Adults. That's
healthy
the
and who
key.
want to be married. It is a
And see,
beautiful
I
thing.
want
I
to
would
be.
never give up on love. I joke and
Yes.
I'm done with love. I give up. I'm just gonna make my money, make sure I take care of my kids, and that be that, because there are too many people out here lying. But there's somebody out here who's not gonna lie. There's somebody out here.
Right.
Yeah. If
I
somebody
just
gonna be
live my
wanna
life
grab
the
you, wanna
way that I
hold
have
you,
to, and
wanna
just
kiss
trust in
you.
God that He gonna drop the right person in when it's time.
There's
Right.
gonna be somebody who wanna hold your hand, take walks in the park with you, rub your booty when you're 80 years old, still make you feel like you're 20. You know what?
You know what? I would like to have like you know the bedside assistant little chair thing.
Yeah.
Like when I'm like 90 something, I want to slowly place my cooch on an old man face. Just that's all I'm saying. That's just a regular, it's just a regular
Girl,
like
how you turn the topic about bitter baby mamas into
That's
Yeah,
what I
something?
was
you
about to
first
say.
did.
first of all,
It went all the way to the
that's
left.
not me changing the subject, okay? We gonna blame that on Jazz Cuts because he can't keep his tongue in his mouth and I can't focus. And y'all know I'm a squirrel. That's not my fault.
Somebody asked what the topic is about. I don't know what you're gonna tell them.
The topic was about bitter baby mamas. And are all these women truly bitter baby mamas? Or are there some men, because we never generalize, are there some men who put that
I
role of
miss
bitter baby
JoJo.
mama, want to
I
manipulate
love
that
you,
woman
Miss
into
JoJo.
doing whatever it is they want, and then
Damn you for that
to
woman.
paint a bad light on this woman because they don't want anybody else to want her?
Right.
Or three, to make their new boo feel secure in them by bashing this woman. Because me, I don't want to date a man who's constantly bashing their baby mama. That woman gave you kids.
Yeah,
Right.
If
yeah,
she kind
that
of crazy,
part.
even if she kind of crazy, if you don't have nothing but negative things to say about her and nothing positive at all, that kind of makes me question your choices.
No, what I would do is say, if things didn't work out, I don't want to talk bad about it, but you're going to have your own experience if you stick around.
Yes.
Right.
That way, I'm not talking bad about her. I'm not throwing her under the bus, but you're going to see for yourself why I didn't say it and why I said what I said. So
Because
when
let's
you
be
see
Let
her
honest,
acting
people
some of these
crazy,
figure
people
out.
out here are crazy. They cuckoo crazy. I'm like, I don't want you to think
Everybody.
because there's baby daddy issues with him that it has anything to do with me. That's not a reflection on me. I moved past that. I'm ignoring
absolutely,
because this
absolutely,
person is acting crazy because they're trying to run off any potentials because they know, one, I'm a good woman. I'm a loving,
absolutely.
and they know what that thing do down there. And
Mm,
they don't want nobody else to have access to that. So they're gonna
is it
continue to try to
tasty?
act crazy. I say don't pay no attention to that person. If I'm
Is
focused
it
on you
tasty?
and I'm taking care of my kids and we good over here, we gotta leave the crazy person alone. They're
Is
gonna
it
do what they're going
Right.
tasty?
I'm sick of him. I'm sick of him
No, she
already.
said something in our conversation. She said, "What it do down there?" And the treatment. So I just asked her, "What tasty?" That's all.
when
I
you
don't.
get older, like as horny as I am, everybody can't have access to me.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'll be very selective about who I'm gonna give my energy to. Because you could create stalkers by putting that good on some people. Some people they get one
Absolutely.
text
I
and
can't
they
handle it.
some people they didn't even get nothing
I'll
more
put
than
that,
a text and they go crazy. Some people all you did was talk. I'm like, all I had was conversation. You never even met me in person. Why you act
yes, yes. Keep
All I
talking.
did was
Tell him.
smile. And all I said was, why your tongue look like an anaconda? That don't mean we gonna smash or nothing. That's just me acknowledging the things that I see. That's all.
What do you see? What do you see?
yeah,
I
but
see tomfoolery. That's what
I
I see.
just, I'm just, I'm just sitting there having a conversation with some more adults.
this
That's all.
conversation started off great, and then the two nasty ones come in the bottom of the box.
I was doing good.
Hey,
I was
Rico, you see how
talking.
they look how she give me that case? She was saying too nasty. I came in and said, "Good evening, everybody. I love y'all."
Listen,
Trying to
first
find
of
out what
all,
y'all were conversing about so I could interject my thoughts and feelings, into this conversation. You heard what I said. I said interject.
Interject.
nasty. Listen, the
Because
whole
today's
point
topic
is
is about bitter baby mamas. Next week it'll be about those bitter baby daddies. Cause y'all always want to put everything on the some
No,
of
I ain't never been.
we're not
I ain't never
generalizing.
been.
Some of
I ain't
y'all want to
never
put
been.
everything on the baby mamas and they say bitter
Scout
baby mama.
Sana. Scout
But what
Sana. I ain't never been. I ain't never been.
I said
I
some, not
promise you
say
on
all.
he
everything
You
I
know I
she
don't
love.
make
said
blanket
some.
generalizations. I said
She ain't
some.
Oh
said
yeah, well,
you.
If
I mean,
I
I'm
Just
part
learn
of the male
anything
listen.
species,
on
so I
these
just had to
internet,
speak up a little bit.
if I
There's
learn
Lord.
anything on these
there's
internets
been a
is
lot of
do
kids
not
out
make
there that's been
generalizations. You
Right.
say
there's a lot of
some,
kids that's been held
not
hostage
all.
because of
Right.
bitter baby mamas.
Absolutely. Listen,
Right.
yes, yes. My oldest daughter is
Oh
my
Lord.
chocolate princess, my sweet. Don't get me wrong. I have three children. My son came first, and I have two daughters. But the middle child, she was just so chocolate, and her mom knew that was my heart. I mean, when I tell you I endured some shit just so I could see my daughter, just so I can see her. Listen, I don't know what she told her mom. They didn't like me, but it didn't deter me from going to her house every day. They live across town. I lived in Southwest Philly. She lived in North Philly. Go to her house every day.
See,
Make
look
sure
at
she had a snack. I help her with her homework. I give her mom a hug and a kiss on the cheek. Always. And I knew she didn't like me, but she had to respect me because I never changed. I never changed.
Consistency is key. Consistency is definitely key. When it comes
So
to these bitter baby mamas, like um one thing that I have noticed is that a lot of people don't acknowledge it. Like Like when fathers come back and say all of the horror stories that they have to endure and things of that nature, most people don't believe it because they're like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Thank you, love. Ain't no way. Ain't no way that we're like this. Like absolutely not.
There are some
But
women out there who are like
there
that. They'll
are
key your car, call you in the middle of the night, hang up the phone, show up at your job. I'm
yeah.
telling you, I'm from New Jersey. I have some friends, and I'm
Hey,
like, why are you
Busy.
doing all of that? And then they want to check you for checking them. Like, if I'm your friend and I see that you acting crazy, I gotta say something. You my friend, I love you, but what you doing is fucked up because these
This is
kids don't deserve.
crazy.
Oh, well, you don't have a perfect relationship. I don't, but I'm telling you what I'm seeing as your friend. Girl, this is crazy. And at some point, you have to hold your female friends, your women friends accountable. Just like men have to hold other men accountable. If they gonna be your friends, you be like, you know what you're doing is fucked up.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Too
y'all
much.
tap
Three.
the
I,
swing.
I got 3 friends. We're like brothers. It's 3 of them. And when I say something or do something, of course I got one that's like, yeah, you right, dog. But I got that one that's like, yo, Reek, you need to fix that. You was wrong on that one, dog. You shouldn't have did that. Yeah,
That's the
I know
type
how
of
you
friend. That's the
feel, but
only
you
type
shouldn't have
of
did
friend
that.
I want.
Yeah. So
But
I
those
got
are
three
real
of them.
Accountability.
friends. Those are real friends. I'm not talking about acquaintances. I'm talking
Mm-mm.
about people who got your back, who want your best
Absolutely.
interest, and
We've
who
been
want to
we've
see
been
you
friends since kindergarten.
Oh,
We're
that's what's
brothers.
up.
We're
Yeah,
brothers.
yeah. That's the
Yeah.
only. That's the only person that has that title that can check me without me taking it personal.
because some of us are going to take it personal. But if that's really your friend and you love your friend, because let's look, like just like there's people who adopt kids and they love them, just like you pick your friends and you choose to love them. For a man to say, "Well, I can't love another ninja's kids," that's false. You can love who you want to love.
Man,
Making a
yeah,
conscious decision not to love them because you're insecure because you know, well, their dad's still in the picture. So what? They
What
get
makes
two
it easy?
dads. They're
What makes
double
it
blessed.
easy? What makes it easy to love someone else's children is the mother.
yeah. True,
When y'all in that
true,
house, the mother, because
true.
if the mother is down with you, it's easy to love the kids. When she's against you, it's like these motherfuckers ain't mine anyway. Fuck them.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't care no
Right.
more.
That's facts.
And I
And
don't
Can
mean
what
to
you
say it
I
said
like
be
this,
too.
but
honest with y'all for 1 second? My mom and dad are still married. Been married.
Right.
Hold on, I'm 43. My sister got to be 47. My parents been married for 47 years. There'd be so many times my dad would be like, "Well, all my kids is grown. These kids don't even respect me. What you want me to say something to them for?" And they married. Married. So it's very easy, right? For a man to be like, "Well, they got a dad. They don't respect me anyway." If the woman don't respect you, the kid's not gonna respect you because the kids is looking at their mama.
It's
The
Yep,
so
same with
easy.
if you're a
yep.
man, you bring a woman in and you let these little kids disrespect your new partner, you making it hard for her. Y'all trying to blend as a family. Some men are so afraid to speak up and tell their kids you in the wrong, or speak up and tell their woman you in the wrong. Don't talk to my child like that.
if I'm in that house paying bills and doing everything that I'm supposed to do as a man, somebody gonna listen. Oh, okay.
Somebody
Absolutely,
gotta listen.
absolutely. Or that shit gonna get cut off.
Thank you.
Either
Because
get
Somebody gotta listen.
the two things that new baby that baby mamas need to do for their new spouses is make sure that they get the big piece of chicken, and that they that they drink is always cold. Like
Rico said, "I just want the big piece of chicken."
whatever it is,
you know,
just look it out. It's just
you
regular.
know, the bottom line, if the mom is down, everybody's gonna be happy. I'm
That's
telling you.
it.
Yep, yep.
But
The
You
mom
also,
is
if
technically the mom is the
the dad
regulator.
brought
right.
kids
Yeah.
into it and the dad doesn't check his kids, if I'm a woman, say Rico, if me and you are dating, I'm in love with you. I'm going to love your
Awesome.
child because naturally I love you. And your daughter is disrespecting me and you don't say anything to your daughter. You're telling her it's okay for her to continue to
Yeah,
disrespect.
that no,
That.
yeah,
If I
that
come to
ain't
you and I'm
happening.
like, Rico, I need to talk to you in private. I'm like,
You
I've
know.
talked to your daughter
Hey,
numerous times
bye.
about putting stuff away and she rolls her eyes at me constantly. I
Hey,
need
Bob.
Mhm.
that. Now that's your daughter. She's my stepdaughter, or she's potentially going to be my stepdaughter, but you need to have a conversation with her because I can't allow disrespect.
Right.
I love you, but if we all can't come together as a family, there's going to be problems. So it's going
Right.
to
Yep.
be parents. It's on the. At no point do you give a child control of your relationship.
Right.
At all. At
Right.
all. At all. Not
Ever.
being the adult.
I don't care what age they are.
No matter what age, they could be growing out of the house. I've tell people have come into my
I don't
lives
care.
and said the daughter who's a therapist is telling this, and I'm like, if she's a therapist, she grown. What's she doing in
That's
your
a whole
therapy?
adult. Get her out your business.
That's
Yeah.
the whole
When
adult.
you know, if it gets to the point where it's like, hey D, your 20-year-old can't come over here no more. It's just disrespect. I can't deal with it. You know,
Don't hurt.
something.
But if you my husband and I'm like, baby, I'm gonna have to come meet you at your house because you keep disrespecting my husband. Me and you got to be together. She gonna come and go. She's always gonna be
Yep.
my child. It's
Right.
nothing for me to go to her
Facts.
house.
I'm
Especially,
glad you said that. A lot of people need to
especially if
hear
he's a
that.
good man.
All the seats are
Especially if
filled,
I'm being
sweetie.
good.
So I can say we all need to go to therapy together because my babies are always gonna be my babies. I'm always gonna love my babies. I will never pick a
Right.
man for my child. However, this is your house too. And you have a right to feel comfortable in your house, especially if she don't live here. Baby, I'll come
That
visit you, but you can't come over here and keep disrespecting him. And my kids know me because I talk to my kids very
right.
plainly.
Real
That's the
conversation.
relationship that we have.
Listen, D, I don't, I love y'all. I'll stay around. I'll moderate if you want. Somebody wants to get in the box, I guess, to interject their thoughts in this conversation if you want them to. I can get out
I
the
Ain't
don't.
box.
nobody else. It's nobody else in here.
Mills Bundy.
I don't know that person, and I don't
Right.
see.
Right.
Mm.
Okay.
She don't.
I
She
was
don't.
You
just,
Okay.
know, I don't let just anybody in the box for a reason. Some people come here just to
I got
disrupt.
you.
Right.
I
Hey,
got you.
okay,
Right.
AD, let me ask y'all this. If a man is in the house, right, and your older children, the 20-year-old, 21, 22, and man is in the house, he ain't working, he disrespectful, and then they putting their 2 cents in to you, and they're not respecting him on top of that. Do you feel that that's a different situation?
That is because what are you
Definitely.
doing? Why are you here?
Yeah,
Right.
what are you bringing to the
But
Because
table
here
for
you
me?
have it.
hey,
You'll have
but trust me, some women will stick around. I love him. It's all right. Da da da.
I'm not one of
So
those
the
That's
woman,
women,
their
but it
insecurity.
depends on
That's
the
their
woman.
insecurities. That
Yeah,
is
it
their
depends on the
insecurity.
woman though. I'm not a woman that will keep a man around just to say I have a man. That's why I'm single right
Yeah. I wouldn't do that either. I don't keep. I will not keep a woman around for the sake of being in a relationship if she's not bringing nothing to this relationship.
now. And also, can I say, because I want my kids to see what a healthy relationship looks like, that is also a very, very big determinant. I'm not going to have some man laid up in my house, disrespecting me, not doing nothing, and then tell my kids they can't.
Yeah,
My kids love me. If I want my kids to have healthy relationships in their future, I have to be a role model for them. How
so
can I say
absolutely.
that's
I
the
want
only
better and I
disrespect that
got
we can
crap in
all
my house?
agree on, right?
Well. Okay. So I've lived it.
Lead by
Okay.
example.
I've lived it. Okay. So baby daddy was working. Okay. Lost his job, and at that point fell into a depressive state where you know how some people just don't know how to hold their liquor, causing arguments. Everything was hunky dory when you're sober, but
Hmm.
once you see somebody in the alcohol state, then you make different decisions at that point. And I let him know. I said, this isn't going to work out because you disrespect me one time, you do it again. And I am a thug and I know how to hurt people. And you sleep in a bed near me. I don't have to wait until you wake up. I know how to use a sock and a piece of soap. It's not that
Okay.
hard. You wake up sore as hell. Such is life. I can't do it. So and he
You're a
thought
metal
that
jacket.
because right, he thought because I'm pregnant that means that I have to just deal. No. I was paying bills before you got here, love. There's no issues over here. My benefits don't never stop. When people was losing their paychecks, I was still 100% disabled, so that didn't change anything for me. I was
Hmm.
still straight, and
Hmm.
I will continue to be straight. And my husband is still coming, regardless of the fact that I had this little light skinned baby or not. He's still coming. I'm sick of you. Shut up. Look. So for that, once a person disrespects you, that is a glimpse of possibilities. What you accept is
Yes.
is what will accumulate over time. And I don't have time for that. Not no
But
more. I
Yep.
am
we
42
we were
years
talking about
old. I'm
we were
tired.
talking we were talking about the children part of it, about respect and all of that. That's what I was getting at. At what point do we allow our children to be real with us? Or do we say,
Oh,
look, this is grown folk shit, stay out of it?
Oh no, 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 no. One thing I'll do, I respect because it's the way you raise your children. So if
right.
you raise them with respect and they
Then they'll
never
have a
see you get
conversation with you.
disrespected and they see you get disrespected for the first time, that's going to anger them because that's not something they're used to.
Right.
Damn, Dad, why you letting this woman disrespect you? Because they never seen that before.
And Jazz, I will say, because I have an older daughter from my first marriage, when she saw things transpire, and I'm not going to go deep with my second marriage, she never said it in front of him. She came to me privately because that's the way that I
Right.
raised her.
Absolutely,
It's all
absolutely.
about
My
the way.
son did the same.
Like I said, I'm not a perfect parent. Parenting don't come with no manual. I mean, there
That's
is
what I
some
tell
kind of, but
everybody. Nothing
that ain't
comes with
black
a
book.
handbook. You do the
It ain't no
best you
black
can.
book. My
I wish
daughter
he
knew to
did.
come to me personally, not in earshot of him, because she was a little afraid of him as well. But she was like, "Mom, if you wouldn't let my dad disrespect you, why are you putting up with this?" And I
Right.
said, "Don't
Right.
worry about it. I got it handled. You go to school. My job is to protect you, not the other way around. Don't worry
Right.
about it. I got this. Just trust me. I got this." But
But
she
they
never
Somebody
need to
just
said
let
it in
you
front of
know
him
they see it.
because she knew that would start a
right.
They
bigger
see
argument.
everything. They
Somebody
see
just
it
One thing
all.
said
I never
that
did
their
is,
kids
as long as I was
I think
single,
they said can get involved anytime they want to. I'm
No,
not sure if I read that
no,
correctly.
no,
no.
they
So somebody's
can't.
like, they can come to me anytime. I don't know where it went, but
They can come to you anytime, but
Right.
do it in front of
It's
him
how,
is
yeah, yeah,
more
yeah.
problems. So if they come to you like, "Mom, I want to take you out for dinner," or "Mom, I want to take you out to lunch," be like, "Mom, I see the way that this person is treating you. I don't like it. I see that you're acting different and you're hurting. Why are you putting up with this?" That is totally different from a child coming to your house and arguing with your spouse in front of your face. You're
Yep.
making it bad for everybody.
Right.
Now he
Yeah.
don't want to hear. I got to deal with him. You don't even live here, and it's uncomfortable for everybody. So it is how your child approaches you once they're an adult. My kids are always going to love me. They're always going to be looking out for their mama's best interest.
Period.
However, you can't come into my house if I choose to be in this environment and causing chaos. I
Right.
will come and visit you, because if you over here, I can't be breaking up fights between my child and my spouse, and you don't live here anymore. You're a grown adult. You can't make me choose. I'm always going to love you because you're my child. I love you. You were here first. However, if I choose to be in this dysfunction, you got to let it ride. It's
You just got to
hard,
be okay with
but you
it.
got to let
Well,
it ride.
I'm
Hey,
terribly
Robert.
sorry. I am terribly sorry. My dad died in '93. My mom died 2019. But in between that time, when she was living, I seen her deal with a guy, and I was always over there checking on my mom, making sure she was all right. And the guy I saw kind of triggered me because my dad was an abusive type of father. So, I never allowed that. When I got old enough, he knew I didn't allow it. So, with that being said, I heard the guy say something to my mom that I didn't care for. So, when he went in the kitchen, I kindly walked behind him. And I just let him know, make this your last visit.
Mm.
Needless to say, I told my mom I love her afterwards. I didn't let her know what was going on. He never came back. But I love my mom to the point where ain't no man, especially what I went through growing up, and he's not my father, ever going to talk to my mom. My mom wasn't that type of woman. So I'm glad he took my advice because I wasn't going to be the one to speak at his eulogy, but he would have had one.
He said she never knew about it though. She'd be like, "Why he leave? Like, I don't know what happened." Like, "Don't even worry about it, Mom.
Don't even
Sir."
worry about it.
Now that's totally different from you just not agreeing. So I
Right.
think
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
all
that instantly
potential.
triggered me because, like I said, my mom, to me, And I'm not just saying it because she's my mom, but from my eyes, what I saw, she was close to perfect. She never drank, smoked. I grew up in the church, you know. Never even heard it. I might have heard a curse one time, angry at my dad and said, damn. But she didn't say, you know, she didn't use all the other words. So
That's a
my
cute
mom
cuss
didn't
word.
my mom didn't deserve that from him. I'm definitely not gonna let a man ain't got nothing to do with my DNA talk to my mom any kind of way. You playing kissy faces down there where I'm talking?
No, I'm responding to the question. She said they
Oh,
eating. And I said, yes, we always eating because I'm
oh.
always hungry. Don't be that guy.
But yeah, so that to me, I think that was a situation where